The difference this time, Brenton, between a team that gives up a lead to one that actually fights one back and holds it?
It was much better effort when the game was on the line. You know, it showed a bit of character from a young group that, North Melbourne hit the front in the last quarter, and to be honest, from the coach's box, the body language from our boys didn't look great. I didn't think, with about the 7 or 8 minute mark of that last quarter, it looked like we were tired, but to their credit, the boys dug deep, and we saw some boys that didn't want to lose. So from a coaching point of view, really happy that they were able to find a way to win today. And 57 inside 50s to 42 probably showed we played the better footy, but we're just a bit wasteful when we kicked the ball in there.
About Rory Sloane's last quarter and his second half all up?
Yeah, he's an outstanding player. He does that a lot. It's quickly becoming the same names that light up when the game's really on the line. And even Rory Laird, again today, he showed some real class for a rookie-listed player in his first season. His last quarter was just exceptional. But you're right, Sloane, Dangerfield had 13 inside 50s today. Crouchy was outstanding in his first year of AFL footy. So we're seeing some great signs from a young group. We're just learning how to finish games off. So that's a good step for us today.
Is Brad making a late run for the Rising Star Award, or has O'Meara got it wrapped up?
Oh no, it's not really my call. I'm biased towards my boy because I see him train and I see how he applies himself to his craft, and he's the classic footy head. He lives and breathes AFL footy. He's a student of the game. He's always in my office and the other assistant coaches' offices, constantly asking about ways he can get better. I guess from my point of view, I really made him earn it this year too. I didn't want to gift him because he's young and he's brilliant, but he still had to learn how to play AFL. So it was important from my point of view that I keep teaching him what playing as a midfielder is meant to be like in the AFL. And to his credit, the last 7 weeks, if you look at his numbers, he's probably been our best midfielder the last 7 weeks, and that's across the competition too. He's right up there. So really proud of him, love how he's playing, and we know we've got a really important midfielder here, hopefully for a long time.
How lucky is it that now that you're over the draft for 2 years, or that you've able to have someone like Brad?
Yeah, it was ended up being a great call. At that point when we got Crouchy, we didn't know what was going to happen, but that was a really smart call. I mentioned Laird again, but Laird is a rookie-listed player. He's going to be like if he was in the draft next year, Laird probably goes in the top 15 or 10 anyway. So there's our first pick next year. Laird effectively becomes our first pick. I reckon Hardigan, who's another rookie-listed player, he probably, if he's in the draft next year, probably goes in the 20s. So there's our first 2 picks for next year. Laird and Hardigan. So yes, we haven't got first two rounders next year, but we're going to bring some really good young players onto our list anyway. So that's in one breath disappointing, but thankfully we've seen some great development from a few of our young boys this year.
And Brad, the last 7 weeks that Sando's identified, has there been like a flick of a switch or something that's clicked amongst you that all of a sudden start to stand out?
Oh, not really, to be honest. I guess I was probably a little bit lucky. I thought to play that game against Gold Coast, and I really wanted to take my opportunity. And I guess after I played one game where I felt confident afterwards, and I knew I could match it at AFL level. It really sort of helped me, and I guess every week now I feel as though I'm getting more confident at the level, and I'm getting taught the right way to play. And I feel that probably the best people are obviously the coaches, Campo as well, with the midfield. He's been really good, and I'm really lucky to learn off some of the really good players. Obviously Dangerfield, Thompson, Sloane, Douglas, Vince. I'm really lucky to have them boys around me to help me.
But what does that win mean to the club to be so close on 4 or 5 occasions, not get over the line today? You were training it in the last quarter and you won.
Yeah, it's really big. I know the win against Geelong a couple of weeks ago was like that as well. We just feel as though a couple of times maybe luck hasn't sort of gone our way. I know obviously last week it was a bit like that, and to sort of win them close ones, it's what we sort of pride ourselves on a lot. And if we can continue to sort of improve in that area and win them close ones, I think it's going to be big, especially even next year.
Sam Jacobs went out alone today. He was pretty lion-hearted in the rush of the season, that not everything's gone his way, but he was good today.
Yeah, he was good. You really hold your breath. You pick one ruckman. Obviously, you hope that we don't get an injury to to a ruckman in that situation. But Jacobs was great today. We clearly won hit-outs, I think 46 to 25. I mean, clearances were level though. This is a really good clearance team though. Kangaroos #1 clearance side in the AFL this year, so we put it on the mids this week to get it done, and thankfully Jacobs was great. Andy Otten gave him good support in the ruck as well, and our midfielders were out of break even, against a really good stoppage side, so really happy with that result.
Brett Scott made a key issue of the game was decided by the pressure you put on early. How defining was that for you?
Yeah, it was a focus of ours. This is North Melbourne are a great starting side. Their numbers are excellent in first quarters throughout the whole season. I think they've won a ridiculous amount of first quarters. It's something like they've only lost 3 first quarters for the year, I think. So the start was a focus for us. We were coming off a really disappointing loss last week, to lose a showdown in that fashion. We had to get these boys up. And to be honest, it took the club 2 or 3 days, I reckon, just to overcome the disappointment from last week. But to the credit, our players were able to put that behind them and ensure that we just got back on the horse this week. And yeah, we started really well. I think 3 goals, 5 in the first quarter, and really started the game well. And it was important that we finished the game as well. So my focus was, and it's really basic, was the start, the finish, and our aim is to win. Is to win 4 games. We've ticked that box. We've won the first one today. We play a really good side next week. The Bulldogs are playing some great footy too. So taking them on at Etihad next week becomes a new challenge for us. But our aim is just to win 4 games. That's the way we've got to finish off this season.
Are you living to the hope of ninth spot?
Oh, of course. I would be lying if I said I'm not. But we've got to try and focus on winning our next game. For us, that was North Melbourne. We've achieved that. It was ugly. It wasn't pretty, but we got the win. So, as I say every week, we review the game now. We look for ways to get better. We go and play a really good young side in Western Bulldogs next week, and hopefully we can get that win as well.
Are you okay with getting a final spot by default?
Yes, I am. Yeah. If this year 9th means 8th, I'm sure that club will take it. But that's just speculation, we'll just try and win 11 games this year. We've won 8 now, there's 3 to go, we'll just try and win 11 games. That's the mentality we've got to have, and what will be, will be. It's probably out of our hands a little bit.
Scott Thompson was the sub again. Do you need to rest him at some stage, or is he sore, or was it just...
Yeah, maybe. We just felt like, and I wasn't disappointed with his game today, but we just felt like we needed run in the last quarter, and Matty Wright's a fresh midfielder sitting there in the green vest. Daniel Wells had a super third quarter. I mean, North Melbourne kicked, I think, 5 goals, 5 in that third quarter, and Wells was the one that gave him the spark. So after debate in the coach's box, we decided that to bring run on and to try and shut Wells down. So effectively, we're running with 2 in the last quarter. We shouldn't forget Van Berlo's role on Harvey was just outstanding. Harvey's last month, I think he's averaging 35 plus, and he has 16 today. So, I'm really happy with our skipper's role today. He was great.
Mitch Grigg, he came off and went down to the rooms in the final term. I think the doctors were kind of poking around his left hip area.
Yeah,
Is he okay?
yeah, classic hip pointer. So those people who have played, that's just the one that gets you right on the top of the hip bone. They really sting. Really hard to get going after one of them, but I don't think it's an injury that'll keep him out of next week.
Daniel Taylor, terrific again down back today. He got in 9 marks as well. Do you feel he's becoming more of a 2-way player now? Yeah, I
do. Yeah, I loved his game. He was, Petrie's their real target inside 50, and Tales was fantastic. He is starting to get a bit more of the ball now too. I reckon he's seen his brother play. His brother's been getting a bit of the footy for the Bulldogs as well, which, the brotherly stuff where they get a bit competitive. But yeah, I'm really happy for Tales. He works his backside off every match, and I'm glad you mentioned the defenders because sometimes they don't get the recognition, but he was fantastic today.
And Brown on Thomas did a good job as well.
Yeah, Thomas kicks 2, but I thought Brown had the better of the matchup. Thomas is 3rd in the Coleman. He's had a fantastic season. He hits the scoreboard. He kicked 5 against us last time. So that was a really important matchup for us. And once again, a young kid just got it done. So really, really happy with that.
Brendan, you're on the point of view chasing 4 wins from the last 4. How much tougher do you make yourself with the goal kicking and the tackling?
Yeah, they're our constants. Yeah, they're the things that, once again today, people slip us in the tackles, and if they don't slip us, we give away a free kick. So it's a real frustration of mine. We do tackle hard during the week. We do a lot of tackling school. We do a lot of breakdown drills to try and identify ways to get better. It was the same in 2012. We won 17 games in 2012, but we were down the bottom of the table in tackling. So it's an issue for our squad that we've got to get better at. And yes, we need to get better at goal kicking again. 11-13. I think we're the most inaccurate side in the competition, which doesn't help you win too many games.
Brad, with a strong finish to the year, can you put pressure on Amira?
No, I don't think so. One of my mates sort of sent me a text message during the week, and he said, "Oh, he's just got his money back. They just sort of paid out on Amira already, I think, on Sportsbet." So, no, hopefully I might be fighting for second or third or something like that.
And what's Roy Laird? Surely Roy Laird gets a nomination there.
Yeah, can you guys write about it? Can you do me a favour? Yeah, send it across the border. I really like that kid. You know, I don't know what I can say, but I really hope he gets recognised. Like he's not going to win the Rising Star Award, but recognition as a nomination would be fantastic for him because he's had a really good season for a young kid. And I've said it before, he's not a sexy defender. Like he probably doesn't stand out in the game, but he gets a lot of the footy. He cuts his man out. He's a really vital cog in our defence, you know, and he's a rookie listed player. So it's a really good story, and I hope he gets the recognition.
Cheers, guys. Thanks.
Thank you.
Boys.
Thanks, guys.